I had a sinus infection earlier in the week, and then all of a sudden I had no voice, and I'm just
Now
like,
it's kind of like laryngitis.
yeah. I'm like, okay, great.
Okay, all of you should have got the minutes sent to you today to review. Brooke, you about ready? Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call the Tree Advisory Committee meeting to order. And roll call, Richard Wertz here, Meg Jones, Joanne Cummings,
Here.
Dana Moretta,
Here.
Jason Wilson,
Here.
Chip Orner, and Brooke Willis. Okay, starting with, there are no announcements that I know of. So we'll move to approve the minutes of the January 16th meeting, of which you should have a copy to review. Need a motion and a second.
Second.
I motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Oh, well, did it have to be in order?
There you go. Moving on, we need an update from Jason on the review of the city tree ordinance and the tree care manual.
We just got part of the tree care manual sent to us a couple days ago, Jim and I, from Lindsay. I haven't had time to review every bit of it. I just emailed everybody the copy that he has. So once he finishes that, I guess we can go over it for the next meeting, the next official meeting.
Could we vote on it at that time?
I would think we should be able to, as long as we have a quorum.
He emailed us it, the manual?
The manual, he's gonna get it to us.
Yeah, I just
He
sent an
hasn't
email.
emailed it yet.
I just did. I just emailed it to everyone
Like just now.
just now.
Just,
Oh, okay.
is that the final?
No, it's only partially done.
It's partially done. We're
Right.
waiting on
You
the
can,
front.
yeah, if you want to look over it now, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as he
May
finishes it up.
15th is our next official meeting, other than the Arbor Day. So if I understand right, then we approve it, then we go to the city council and they approve it, and,
Correct.
or we recommend they approve it, and then it
Yep.
gets approved. So if we do that to 15th, then we can go to their next meeting, Chip?
It'd probably in June, yeah.
Okay,
June or July.
all right. Are there any highlights or anything we should note?
My only concern is, again, with the ordinance, is just the permit fees and the fines. That's still in there. Most cities have ordinances where you have permitting fees to be able to work on city trees, and they fine them. My only concern with that is my department oversees the street trees, and we have no way of issuing permits or fines or any of that. We don't want any part of that anyway. If another department, planning, parks, or whatever, wanted to come up with that, that's fine. We just don't want any part of it. So that stuff, if we're deciding not to do permitting and fines, then we need to take that out.
Okay. If we can highlight that, then we can all look and,
Well,
how do you monitor that though, Chip?
No, I would 100% agree with what Jason just said. I mean, if you're not gonna be able to do that, then I think you just take it out. I don't think it's in there now, is it?
It was in there before, and we didn't officially take anything out, and then what Lindsay wrote up, before for us, he wrote another ordinance for, I can't remember.
Lafayette.
Was it Lafayette? Yeah.
There you go.
Wrote that ordinance and basically changed some wording in there for us, but it's still in there.
I mean, that would be something, I'm just trying to think how that would logistically work. I mean, that would be something that, I mean, that's almost a code enforcement thing, right?
Right.
And that's, I don't know, who does code enforcement now, Jason? Is it you guys or planning?
Doug Roller through our department, yeah.
And I just heard you say you don't want anything to do with it, so.
Right.
I'd second that. I don't want anything to do with it either, so.
Yeah, it's just too difficult to enforce. I mean,
Then we need to make sure it gets out before it gets to us.
Yep.
To go to the city.
Yeah, I agree with that.
yep.
Any other comments or questions? I'll print that out and read it, but
Yeah, I can go through.
hard for me to read on my phone.
Yeah, once Lindsay comes up with the rest of the tree care manual, we'll look it over before the next meeting.
So
Get
it's
everything sent out, highlight what needs to be taken out of the ordinance. And if there's anything in the tree care manual pretty much should be straightforward. I mean, it's just, he'll go by ISA standards, their tree care recommendations. So it should be fairly straightforward for us. There shouldn't really be anything that needs to be taken out. Maybe the trees, street tree recommendations they have in there, we'll have to look that over and make sure we agree with that, but everything else should be pretty standard stuff.
So, I mean, I agree that $25 fine doesn't seem like anything, but if you have someone that obviously keeps breaking some of these ordinance requirements, what happens at that time? Do you approach them?
Yeah, usually, I honestly, and
Haven't had the situation in the
no,
past?
no, there's a few people that'll trim the trees. I mean, I'd like to know if they're gonna do it, just so I've got record of it, whether they're pruning it correctly or not. I wanna know what's going on with the trees. But I drive around every day, different sections of town throughout the week, so I'm seeing what's going on. So if I see something that's been, improperly pruned or a tree removed for whatever reason, I'm knocking on someone's door and figuring out why.
Well, why can't we just stick to that policy? Because that seems a lot simpler than this.
Right.
I just don't, there again, you're looking way more than I am, but I just don't know that's a problem. And if it is, like you said, you're just gonna go address it with them. I see more people butchering trees on their own property.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Than I
that
do
happens a
like
lot,
street
yeah.
trees. So,
Well, this ordinance talks about public property on private property. So like the alleys or the sidewalks or the streets that run through someone's private property, they shouldn't be pruning those incorrectly where it's dangerous for someone to walk by. So that's where you're going to come into play on a private property.
Yeah, if it's on private property, if it's a tree that's not city's property,
But it becomes the city's problem when there's access for the public to walk around. According to
it's
this, from
got
what I've been
dead-
reading.
Or
Right.
if it's just dead,
yeah,
if it's got dead, I mean, I could see if it's like over a sidewalk or something, but if it's even in their yard, is that right? Is that what I read?
So if it's
And they have
hanging
a
over the
dead tree.
sidewalk and it's dangerous,
yeah, I think he was giving them more recommendations on things. I don't think it was we have to step in and get a permit for that. Yeah, if we've got a dead limb, if it's a homeowner's tree and it's overhanging the property, city property, street, sidewalk, whatever, I mean, we go in there and remove it back to the edge of the right of way.
Which you
Depending on
can
how-
do with your neighbor's tree too. Like if your neighbor has a dangerous tree that's hanging over your house, you're allowed to cut that off all the way to their property. So, I mean,
Some people don't like it. We've had a few that they understand after you explain to them why and, for what reason, but you try to knock on doors and let people know what's going on before you just start hacking on a tree. and
right, yeah.
Give them a surprise when they come home.
You want a safe environment for the
Right.
community.
Yep.
that's kind of the whole point of this
Yeah.
policy to begin with. And the protection of the trees.
Please get us a final thing, a final draft, so we can have it and be prepared for May 15th then? Because we've talked about this a long time, and it's time to bring it to a conclusion.
So Lindsay says we need one, basically, to be a Tree City, a valid, or so isn't that why we're redoing this and why we need to have it? at
Yeah, we have
this?
to have one for Tree City, and basically, it just needs to be updated, because it wasn't updated
Right.
since
So it doesn't need to be
2007 or
completely
something.
rewritten, just updated, and I haven't read the old one in a while, but,
I don't think it was rewritten. I think it was just brought up to the latest standards.
well, we
I'd
never had
say.
fees, though, or fines or
We
any of that.
did in the old
did,
ordinance.
yeah.
Oh,
The
was it in the
original.
old ordinance? Okay.
Yep. They were just never
Enforced.
enforced,
yeah.
so,
It was a lot of wishful thinking back then, I believe.
right.
So now it's just an issue of who's gonna do the enforcing and how much?
Yeah, if we can get rid of it, that'd be great. I mean, I'm still gonna go and talk to people and, you know,
Can't we just get rid of it?
That's what I think should happen.
Can we vote right now?
I mean, you can vote to get rid of the fines and permits, I guess, but you'd still have to approve the
Final.
the ordinance.
Final draft.
The final
Yeah, the
ordinance,
tree care manual.
yeah, and the manual.
Do you want to bother with it now or just wait?
I would just,
Let's
We'll
just
just
wait
do them
until
both
we
at the
have
same
it.
time.
All right,
yeah, and let's make sure it's out.
all right.
And I think we've got Chip and Jason, and I'll make sure I tell Jim that we wanna make sure that's out of there. Okay, moving on to new business. We are preparing for April 26th, which is the Arbor Day event. That's a Saturday at the Urban Park at 10 a.m. And it's in conjunction with what? Downtown?
Spring Vintage Festival, that's what it's called, yeah.
Okay.
Vintage Festival.
So, do we have a space over there, Chip?
No.
We don't? Okay. So ours will be at the Urban Forest, and hopefully we could do a little better job with promoting and getting a few more people there, and we'll put a tree in.
You know what we should do?
What?
Sorry, I got excited. The Parks Department, or we could have a booth, and like, there's quite a few trees over there. It's not the urban forest. I don't know, that's not a good idea. I was thinking if we did a booth or something right where they park, there on Jefferson. Well, the whole parking lot is filled with vendors usually, isn't it? I don't know, maybe not. It's not the urban forest, but it's where all the action is.
I had tried to get a hold of Discover Downtown multiple times to talk to them about like joint advertising. And I have yet to get anyone to respond to me. So I did make a flyer.
I was gonna say, if you didn't take credit for that, I was gonna mention that, so.
I made a flyer
Thank you.
for us and sent it to Brooke, and I think it's gonna get at least posted on all the social medias, so.
Thank you
It's
for
been
that.
on there for 4 hours, it looks good, too.
So share widely.
Ever downtown. Is Chris done? Is that? Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
What time does that start?
I don't know, I'd have to look it
10
up.
o'clock.
10 o'clock?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, 10 for us, yeah.
All right, and I'll get a hold of,
But I mean, like the Discover Downtown starts at 10 also. So that's why I was like, hey, we're over here for like a half an hour. Like, show us some love,
Dan, do you think there's any chance of Girl Scouts or some of that?
I'll try. My connections, I went to college.
Oh, that left.
Oh my gosh,
4-H
they
or
got
something.
older.
But I can see if I can get someone.
Okay, Jason?
My only report was, we got pretty lucky the past two storms. We just had a few, the first storm, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? We had no damage at all. Some limbs, loose stuff from over the winter or whatever fell in the streets. Nothing major. The one that just happened last night had one tree come down, which we knew it needed to come down. A few Bradford pears out at Franklin Lakes split out. We got those removed today. That's about it.
We appreciate what you do, and it's nice that we didn't have any more damage. I guess
Yeah.
31 and Columbus and some others around the
Yeah.
state had damage.
Yeah, the skating rink lost part of their roof.
I guess at the roller rink, there was nobody hurt with that.
No, it was in the, I think they had 75 people or something in the rink itself, but the storage unit next door is what lost the roof. No. Pretty lucky, really.
That was wild because we were listening to the wind, and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, there's a tornado warning in like the Columbus area. It's like, we should probably turn on the news and see what's going on. And then it got a little quieter. It's like, oh,
Yep, news
okay,
going.
whatever. And then like a little bit later, I start seeing that the roof came off of that building. I was like, holy crap, let me go walk around my house. But there was
Yeah.
no damage.
No, it didn't last very long. It
No.
was pretty intense for 10 minutes or so.
Okay, any public comments? We don't have any public, so the advisory committee comments, Meg?
I don't have any comments. No comments.
Dana? Joanna?
I don't have anything.
I'm good.
Chip?
No, just I want to publicly thank Joanne because that flyer, because Victoria loved that,
Oh, great.
and we get it out early, and it's great. And
Yeah.
if you're on social media, share it. So
I
Looks good.
definitely will.
it's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll look forward, and I'll get a note out with Brooke to, about the 26th in the event at the Arbor, and see if we can have a little nice celebration and plant a tree and have a better attendance
Hope for good weather.
Yeah.
and good weather for sure.
Good weather.
We'll put Chip in charge of that.
It's gonna be 82 and sunny then.
Be
Oh,
fantastic.
remember the last 4th?
Oh, it was
I'm
beautiful.
sorry.
It was beautiful. What are you talking about? It didn't rain till after the fireworks.
Didn't we not have 4th of July last?
No, we did.
What was
No,
one
it's a
we
fall
canceled?
fest.
One of them.
Fall Fest.
Fall Fest.
Fall Festival.
Fall Festival, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah, that was
That
the
doesn't
that was a
happen very
hurricane.
often.
crummy weather.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Our meeting is